Thanks for joining us for another edition of National Focus. I'm Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, Prime Minister Skerrit gives commitment to the completion of projects in the Cottage constituency. The Ministry of Health launched a 3-day course on critical incident stress management, and the OECS selects new Director General. Join me for the details of these and other stories coming up right after the break.
Black sigatoka is a dangerous fungal disease that affects the leaves of banana and plantains. The disease prevents the plant from producing healthy bunches. It is spread by wind, water, and people. Please do not remove banana and plantain trash from infected fields. Stop the spread of black sigatoka today. For further information, please contact your Extension Officer or the Division of Agriculture.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Tatan Tukuri Savanpai Cottage Village Council held its 15th inaugural meeting at the Cottage Community Center last Thursday. During that ceremony, the 5 men and 3 women who were elected and nominated to serve these communities were officially sworn in. Honorable Reginald Austrie, parliamentary representative for the Cottage constituency and Minister for Housing, expressed his satisfaction with the councillors whom he says have bravely taken up this role in challenging times. Honorable Austrie said he is pleased that the political divide that once hindered the development of these communities had been bridged. The minister took the opportunity to highlight the accomplishments of the current administration in the Cottage constituency. These include the construction of 20 new homes costing in the region of $2 million, improvement of a basketball court, and road rehabilitation projects, among others. Another recent development showcased by Honorable Austrie is an ongoing apprenticeship program for young men of the communities of Tatan, Tukuri, Savanpai, and the Cottage. Honorable Austrie's passion about the success of these young men came through as he spoke about their training in construction, plumbing, and electricals.
75% of these young men are high school dropouts. They were in PSS and they left for one reason or the other. And we pass them every day on the street, every morning on the street, not working. And through the apprenticeship program established by Roosevelt Skerrit and the Dominica Labour Party, we were able to take these young men from the streets and place them with qualified contractors working on projects. They started in November, and up to today, they are in fact gainfully employed. But not only that, they're learning a skill on which they can make a living and they can build their future.
Honorable Gloria Shillingford, Minister for Social Services, praised the community for 41 years of governance at a community level, saying that they are at a place where they could serve as a role model to other new and emerging councils. She encouraged the council to embrace each of the 4 communities in their endeavors to achieve.
Never allow yourselves to be distracted by self-centeredness, prejudice, or rivalry, for these failings can hinder the effective functioning of the council.
The minister noted that under the current administration, village councils have autonomy to operate effectively in their communities. She urged the new councillors to use these resources to continue taking care of the elderly, especially those in the Yes We Care program, and also to pay attention to the needs of the youth. She commended the outgoing councillors for their years of service, noting some of their major achievements.
Let me therefore extend heartfelt thanks to you, and it is with gratitude that I recognize your contributions and highlight your efforts, namely the upgrading of the Lamouth playing field that was mentioned already, the rehabilitation of the Cottage, Link Road, and the Diamond Lane, and so much others that your pal rep mentioned.
A final word to the incoming councillors was a call to complete the work of the outgoing team before embarking on new initiatives. In related news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has made it clear to the communities of Tatan, Tukari, Savanpai and Cottage that village councils have an important role to play in the development of their communities. The Prime Minister was speaking at the 15th inaugural meeting of that village council last Thursday. Honorable Skerrit is particularly pleased that the Labour Party administration has, more than any other government, given more scope to local authority in handling the affairs of their communities. The Prime Minister gave his commitment to provide funds to the council for the completion of the Toto Road project and also to constructing a 15,000-gallon imperial water tank in the community of Savanpai.
When people talk about water and we have 365 rivers and it's raining every day in Dominica, one can appreciate the cost of bringing water to your homes. And I can give a commitment here this afternoon that I shall make the monies available for the construction of the 15,000 imperial gallon tank for Cottage. So that money is made available for this project.
The Prime Minister also took time to list several employment initiatives undertaken by government in the north of the country. These include the rehabilitation of the Cabrits, the 68-room Moroccan hotel, and the coffee processing plant in Portsmouth. The Crisis Intervention Unit, in collaboration with the Deliverance Baptist Church, hosted an opening ceremony for a 3-day critical incident stress management course on Wednesday. The forum was held to ensure that human resources are adequately prepared to intervene with crisis situations if and when they occur. In attendance were participants from the Ministry of Health, the Fire, Police, Ambulance and Prison Service, Red Cross, the clergy, and other faith-based organizations. Critical Incident Stress Management Course facilitator Dr. Naomi Pageant says the course is targeted at teaching persons how to handle both individual and group intervention.
We'll learn how to do things that help people one-on-one, the individual crisis intervention that we do. And that's often the most important kind of intervention that you do. Because when you talk to people one-on-one more than you do in a group. But then there are some situations where you will need to work with a group of people, a small group or even a very, very large group. So I'll teach you some skills around how to present the material that's important for them, that will be helpful for them in a group situation as well. And then there are some situations that are so unique and people are so traumatized by what they have been through that sometimes they need the support of other people who have been through it too. So I'll also teach you some techniques around how to provide that kind of care.
Dr. Laura Esprit from the Community Mental Health Team delivered remarks on behalf of consultant psychiatrist Dr. Griffin Benjamin. She voiced that many health workers may not know what actions to take when responding to critical incidents and sees the workshop as an avenue to educate them and minimize crisis on the island.
The good news is that death, injuries, psychological and social problems can be minimized or completely avoided when specific risk factors for disaster and critical incidents are identified and managed in an efficient manner. This workshop, I believe, will help participants to recognize that natural disasters, mass casualties, are not only surgical and medical emergencies, but they also include the urgent involvement and immediate treatment of related emotional and psychological problems.
Representative for the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Corinthia Burton, emphasized the mandate of the ministry recognizing health as more than just the absence of disease.
The mandate of the Ministry of Health is not just about providing medical care when people are ill. It is about partnering with all social and civil partners for optimum health as enunciated in our vision. We have recognized that health is more than just the absence of disease. According to the National Aboriginal Health Organization 2002, good health is a balance of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual elements. If we neglect one, we get out of balance and our health suffers in all areas.
She applauded the initiative of the organizers for providing the training program to Dominicans and highlighted the importance of crisis intervention. Burton expressed hope in the formation of a group prepared to complement existing resources in responding to crisis.
The Ministry of Health welcomes this training program and takes the opportunity to applaud the efforts of the leadership of the Deliverance Baptist Church in spearheading this and other initiatives. At this point, I must also take the opportunity to welcome you, our international facilitator, Dr. Naomi Paget, to Dominica. And we especially thank you for volunteering your expertise in providing this training program to the people of Dominica. I am hoping that this training program will lead to the formation of a multi-sectoral core group of persons who would be trained and prepared to complement the mental health team and other existing resources in responding to situations requiring crisis intervention.
In more news, Dominica's head of state, President Charles Savarin, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Alex Boyd Knights, government representatives, members of the diplomatic corps, permanent secretaries, the Venezuelan community in Dominica, and friends of the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez converged on the St. Alphonsus Roman Catholic Church in Goodwill on Wednesday evening to usher in the season of Lent and to remember the late Hugo Chavez 1 year after his death. Wednesday's church service was presided over by parish priest of the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church, Monsignor Eustace Thomas.
Besides celebrating this benediction in Lent, we are asked to pray especially for the former president of Venezuela, Mr. President Hugo Chavez, was a good friend of our nation.
Special tribute to the late Hugo Chavez was done by the Venezuelan Cuatro group. Back in Venezuela on Wednesday, thousands of followers of the late Hugo Chavez flooded the streets in Caracas as they participated in a military parade to commemorate the first anniversary of his death. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, has announced the appointment of St. Lucian Dr. Didacus Jules as the organization's new Director General. Jules, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Caribbean Examinations Council CXC, will take up his new position on May 1, 2014. He replaces Dr. Len Ishmael, who demitted office at the end of December 2013. The organization canvassed widely and received applications for the position from across the region and beyond. Having deliberated conclusively on this matter during the 50th meeting of the OECS Authority in November in Montserrat, the authority made the final selection during an ad hoc meeting of the authority held in Havana, Cuba during the CECLAC summit in January. OECS Chairman and Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Baldwin Spencer, said the authority is confident that the correct choice has been made and look forward to working with Dr. Jules in ushering in a new dispensation within the organization. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Luce comes up next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ambassadeur Dominique pour CARICOM et puis OECS, His Excellency Félix Grégoire, qui a fait parole pays qui peut passer législation qui concerne OECS Economic Union. Selon ambassadeur Grégoire, malgré pays peut passer, Dominique bien avancé qui concerne ça. Ambassadeur Grégoire dit pays qui peut passer, ça même ka affecté nous.
On savent, nous ni ça nous qui est OECS Economic Union. Et pour ça fait, nous devons passer ça qui est un treaty. Et treaty ça c'est ça qui a mettre tout bagage en place. Qui dit qui bagage nous supposé mettre en place pour faire Economic Union là. Et à présent ni 3 pays en OECS là qui pourquoi passer certaines lois pour faire Economic Union là qu'on est supposé. 3 pays ça, c'est Antigua, Barbuda, Saint-Lucie et la Grenade. 3 pays ça pourquoi passer toutes ces lois pour faire Economic Union là marcher bien. Et ça qui a affecté nous ces peuples là qui ont réussi là. Donc nous j'ai passé toutes ces lois. Et j'ai fait tout arrangement pour mon OICS venir Dominique. Et pour yon ça nous qui est free hassle free travel.
À la nouvelle, ministre pour employement Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre qui fait parole bagay développement pour Dominique. Yon se bagay là il mentionné ce projet géothermique.
Avec c'est pour ça mon pour partenaire nous pour nous commencer courir by ça pour nous voir and pour nous really produce electricity hot sanuli là-bas because c'est un bon biter il clean il bien net because Dominic c'est your country soon as I serve hydropower soon as I geothermal power tout à l'heure nous can say un green economy c'est ça qui est ça so c'est by ça bien sérieux moi le temps parler pour tout le monde hors Dominic actuellement là qui arrive tout à l'heure peut-être l'année qui a venu ou pas ça n'importe là depuis le premier ministre qui est élection là on les peut parler pour garder ça qui a fait à Dominique.
À la nouvelle, président Dominique His Excellency Charles Savren, speaker du Parlement Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, officier gouvernement diplomatique corps, permanent secrétaire en parmi d'autres, assemblée en l'église catholique Saint-Alphonsus à McPherson, soit pour commencer à observer saison carême et puis pour aussi changer ancien président Venezuela Hugo Chavez. Service à la voix prêché par Monsignor Justus Thomas. Il a aussi mis un tribut spécial pour ancien président Chavez. En Venezuela même, autant de personnes participé en parade en mémoire Chavez. Il a tenu parade là pour commémorer l'anniversaire la moine. Finalement, agrément qui Dominique signé pour voyage en Dominique et puis Brésil, qui facilite moun faire meilleur business. Parole ça là sorti du ministre de l'État, sénateur honorable Alvin Bernard, pendant ces 2 pays à signé arrangement ça là.
Agrément ça c'est esprit pour moun qui a voyager pour faire business, consultant qui a regardé code projet, et bien touriste. So comme ça Dominicain si yo paye yo que ça aille Brésil pour le World Cup là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Learn what experts have to say about being responsible. Up next in today's tip of the day.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Being responsible is one of the prime prerequisites for any person who wants to survive independently in this world. As a child grows, he or she learns to become more responsible for the things around him or her. However, the sense of responsibility comes at different times for different people. One of the first steps towards being responsible is practicing discipline. Do not overindulge in luxuries and pleasures. Remember that time and tide waits for none. And understand the fact that responsibility has to be earned. It is not something that you are entitled to. So start being responsible from this moment and begin to work to the best of your abilities. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching, and do remember to join us again tomorrow.